Hey, folks, welcome back. Well, he's done it again, approximately 1 month after Donald Trump issued an executive order offering refugee status to South African Afrikaners who were suffering from unjust racial discrimination. He strikes again, this time not with a policy, not with an executive order, but with another Truth Social truth or tweet, if you prefer to call it that. This morning, the 7th of March, 2025, exactly 1 month after his executive order, he published this Truth Social post. But before I get to that, I want to mention that I'm going to tell you why this came out today. This is in direct response to the shameful conduct of parliamentarians in South Africa's parliament yesterday, the 6th of March, 2025. There was a discussion, a debate in parliament about the United States cutting foreign aid to South Africa. Members of parliament got up and spoke about this. This topic was brought to the table by Julius Malema of the Economic Freedom Fighters. And then a number of people got up and said their piece. Malema was vile and repulsive and insulting towards America and making all sorts of unfounded allegations and lies about America. And I'm sure that sort of pissed Trump off. He wasn't the only one. The IFP also said some vile things about the United States, which is a bit surprising. And there were some rational minds in Parliament. Gabe McKenzie was a little confusing. He was here, he was there, saying that we, America, need South Africa. We don't. That South Africa needs America. You do. So it was a little confusing what he had to say. And then I understand that Athol Trollop said some very obvious things about the nature of what's going on in South Africa and why the relationship is tattered. So in response to that abusive, insulting behavior, all the United States has done is simply stop giving you free money. You haven't been sanctioned. You haven't even been kicked out of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, which is incredibly generous given that you are illegally in AGOA. You're not allowed to be in AGOA. You violated private property rights with Expropriation Without Compensation Act. Therefore, you're not eligible. The fact that Trump hasn't kicked you out of it is a gift. Yet members of parliament get up there and assault America. Enough is enough. Genoeg is genoeg. And Trump has had enough of it. So he issued this truth post today. South Africa is being terrible. Plus, the long-time farmers in the country, they are confiscating their land and farms. And much worse than that, a bad place to be right now. And we are stopping all federal funding. To go a step further, any farmer with family from South Africa seeking to flee that country for reasons of safety will be invited into the United States of America with a rapid pathway to citizenship. This process will begin immediately. Now, this tweet has caused all kinds of consternation, people freaking out already. News 24 carrying fairy tale stories that Trump is lying about what's going on in South Africa. No, he's not lying about what's going on. Land is being occupied by people illegally, and that is confiscation. Confiscation isn't simply the government taking your land. Others can confiscate your land. And that's what Trump is talking about. But they choose to ignore that by claiming that there is no widespread confiscation. There is no confiscation of land. Well, we're not talking about that by the government. So that's the first problem with this. The next problem with this is people are losing their minds and making all sorts of unfounded claims that Trump said this or said that. It only applies to this group or that group. First off, this is not the refugee offer, which appeared in an executive order that Trump issued last month on the 7th of February. In that order, he offered refugee status for Afrikaners in South Africa who are victims of unjust racial discrimination. That program is yet to exist. We're still waiting for the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of State to issue that program. What he's issued today in this tweet or truth posting is something very different and applies to the law. And I'm curious how it applies to law because I'm not familiar with how the president can make a rapid path for citizenship. But the problem with immigration law is that there's quite a bit in there and there's a lot of discretion for the chief executive, which is the president. So we will see what happens here. So this is not the refugee program. It appears to be another program. But more importantly, let me tell you what Trump has done with this post on social media. This is a shot fired across the bow. This is Trump sending a warning shot to the South African government to knock the nonsense off. Quit insulting America and quit lying about what's going on, or there'll be consequences. That's what this is. If farmers actually took Trump up on this offer to escape for their safety, South Africa's economy would implode. Absolutely implode. Look what happened in Zimbabwe. So a number of people are freaking out already. Oh, so only farmers can get refugee. No, this isn't refugee. This is different. It's unclear what Trump is intending here. It's also no change. There's no policy issued. There's no executive order that came with this. There might be one tomorrow or later, but there isn't one now. And there's no program established by the State Department of Homeland Security. So people need to take a deep breath and calm down. And people are going, well, it's only for farmers. No, this is something specifically for farmers and their families. Oh, so single people can't come. Where do you get that from? Where do you get that from? Stop. Folks, Donald Trump has sent a warning shot. I don't know how much clearer Trump can be to the African National Congress and the Government of National Unity without actually taking action against them. He's been very patient with the bad behavior of South Africa's politicians. but that patience is wearing thin. With each and every insult, with each and every racist comment from Cyril Ramaphosa and Julius Malema and others, your chances of coming out of this smelling like a rose diminish every time. What say you, South Africa? Did you see the Truth Social post? And what did you take out of it? It's not just for farmers. Single people are not excluded. It's not just for farmers. This is a separate program, if such a program will come to fruition. The key thing that you should know about this is that Trump is still talking about this. And this is also a smack in the face to all the liars in South Africa who said Trump is not doing it, it's just political grandstanding. Well, now he said farmers can come immediately. Process can start immediately, get them here. So that addresses those skeptics and those critics. Let's see what happens. Whatever the case is, people are talking about South Africa, and not in a good way. And that is terrifying the ruling elites in South Africa, whichever party they come from. Shame on them. Shame on them. And for all those of you who believe nonsense being spouted by people, shame on you. There's nothing in this that says it's not for single people. There's nothing in this that says, well, we're screwed, it's only for farmers, because this isn't the refugee program. Stop reading things into what you see. Start reading what you're seeing and understand it. And stop believing the fake media, because that's what they are. They're propaganda purveyors. What say you, South Africa? Cheers.